Okay, everybody. Let me know if this is good. Let me know if this is good. Thank you for letting me know, Kathy, Andrew. That was good. That would have been terrible if I get on for that long and nobody was able to watch my live tonight. Oh darn. Oh well. Things like this happen, right? They happen. But yeah. I'm wiping my face only because my monitor is dirty and I'm looking at my monitor and there's a big black dot on my cheek, right? So I just want to get rid of that. But say hi as you walk in the door and let me know that you're here and we'll carry on. But I guess for people who didn't catch the beginning of my video, I should say again, I got into a work program, so I'm pretty excited. I got a little bit of income coming in now, so sell a little bit of stuff that I have around the house, and maybe I can work a couple of socials, bartend at a couple of socials or something. I don't know. I'll figure something. Always works out, but I'm just happy now that I've got somebody that's actually going to take some interest in me, right? On Thursday, I spent almost 2 hours, more than that, almost 2 hours there. And yeah, we went over absolutely my entire life. Like they went through absolutely all my life. And yeah, she really took an interest in me and she really took into consideration what I would be interested in to working, right? Because for years now, I've just been taking these jobs just to keep a roof over my head. I haven't been taking jobs that I love. I thought I would be interested in maybe doing retail and production or, manufacturing. And I left hospitality to do that, right? But when I did that, I found YouTube and I got involved in social media, and then I got an interest in marketing and yeah, so these jobs that I was having, they only became something to keep a roof over my head. I didn't even really give any of them a chance to really settle in and try to enjoy them, right? I enjoyed serving and I enjoyed bartending. Hi, Andrew. I enjoyed serving and I enjoyed bartending, but I was ready for a change, right? My mother had, I think, just passed away, and yeah, and after that, for some reason, I just was not able to hold on to a job. I'd get into a job, and as soon as I was in the job, I was already moving out, right? Yeah, my mother's death impacted me, I guess, more than what I thought. Right? Like I had this terrible, was not terrible, but it was wonderful sense of freedom, and it set me off on a new path, right? And I got really involved in this, and what can I say? I'm interested. This is a part of my life now, what I'm doing, right? And this is a life change, a personal life change. I'm not doing this for a job. I'm not doing this to advance myself. Well, I am advancing myself. I shouldn't say that, because yeah, there's this compulsive need to actually delve deeper, right? And especially now that I know other people who are on the same path as me, and they are in the same family. So I can see where I'm going, right? Like I can see myself in a year from now, and it is wow. It is really, I knew I had a lot of, religious people in my in history, like in my family background. I have a lot of religious people, a lot of bishops and archbishops and nuns and like we have our family tree, right? And it goes all the way back to the 1400s, and we had like like we were not royalty, but we were part of the royal household. Is that how you say it? Like my great 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 grandmother was lady in waiting to Queen Victoria, and yeah, so we've got a lot of intellectual and a lot of deep thinkers in my family, right? And then as I'm going through my studies and stuff, and I see where I'm going, and I see where other members of my family are going, that it makes me curious, right? Like how come my dad didn't go that way? Was it because my dad was serving self? I wonder that, right? My dad was a very kind man, a very deep thinker, very philosophical, a big reader. In those days, there was no computer. He loved TV, but it was hockey games and documentaries. But I don't remember that he went out of his way. I don't remember that my dad went out of his way to help other people, right? He was very loving, and he did everything with his family, right? Like he didn't spend a lot of time, like he was very social with work and everything, but outside of that work life, he was always with his family, right? He wasn't interested in having friends over and stuff like that. But I don't remember him ever going out of his way to help people, you know? So I'm wondering if maybe that's why my dad didn't go farther in law of attraction than he did, right? Because he was serving himself and he wasn't serving others, right? I don't know. It's important. It's important to serve other people when you do law of attraction, right? If you don't serve other people, then you're only serving yourself, right? And you have to do good in the world. You have to be able to pass something along, right? And so this is what I've been thinking, for the past, these little thoughts that come into my head, right? And then I chomp onto it and I stir it around, right? And I stir it around. And because, so here's another one, my dad practicing law of attraction, right? And if he was doing that, and he was that close to me, he knew what I was going through. He knew what my situation was at home. He knew what my situation was at school. He knew how I thought. We always, like, every day we had big conversations, right? Like really in-depth conversations, right? So it makes me wonder, right? If my dad, kind of maybe planted this information in the way he wanted to teach us, right? Like I don't know about my sisters, right? If he taught me, like he made my sisters follow the quotes, like, do unto others, and oh, there was so many little quotes, and we actually lived by them, right? And if we'd always get in trouble if we strayed for them, right? But these were all sayings that we lived by. So it makes me think that my sisters, they were more into their friends and boyfriends or what have you, right? And with me, my dad was my best friend. There was nothing, and I'm talking a little bit about him right now. It's just kind of sort of carrying over, but it makes me curious, right? Was my dad priming me, right? It just seems that, everybody wants to prime me. Everybody, like I just would like, and it just makes me wonder if my dad primed me because he knew what was in store for me, right? you know? If you follow law of attraction, you know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of deep thinking on that in the past couple of days, right? Because I don't know, right? There's some questions that I'll never ever have answers to, right? Because right, I may have lived my life a little bit in that manner, but I lived that my life that way totally unaware. You know what I mean? Like I had no awareness about me at all. But it makes me wonder, did my parents know? You know, if I had known this was going to happen to me, it happened to me or happened for me, however you want to look at it, right? You know, it really makes me wonder. So okay, so let's go on to something else. It's still buffering. Oh my gosh, is it so you? Like if you would let me know, that would be great. Kathy and drop the webcam when I was moving the tripod around, but I've dropped it before and not had a problem. I checked all my cords. My cords were good. It's buffering, right? Okay, well, maybe we'll just make this a short live tonight. You know, oh, I'm so sorry about that. I feel really bad. I feel really I don't know what to do except just to carry just to carry on. Hmm. Yeah, and see, now I've got the buffering on my mind too. And it makes it, if it's buffering, that means that you're not able to even actually hear what I'm trying to get across. That's unfortunate tonight. Hmm, but that's my luck today. I've just been kind of bumping through my day today, right? I'm bumping through my day. Aw, okay. Well, maybe I can come back on if I can figure it out. I can hook maybe my old webcam out. It seems to have stopped. Okay, well, let me know if it starts up. It could be it. Maybe it's even the network. Maybe the network's even having issues. We're having a big thaw right now, right? We were in the plus digits today, so there's lots of puddles. I'm so excited for spring. Like I'm so excited for spring. Yeah. But yeah, let me know if it starts buffering again. I don't know what happens. The only thing I can think of is maybe because I kind of moved things around a little bit so that I could get a better picture in the frame, because I wasn't happy with the the composition of the bill, right? You know, the fuzziness. Yeah. But let me just scroll this down here and see what we've got going on. Ah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just I'm lost for words right now. I'm lost for words. I just maybe I consumed a lot of video today. You know, maybe I just bumped into too many things. Yeah. And I have my topics here to go, and there's such good topics too. And I don't want to get into them if everybody's, you know, getting a bad thing. But I'm watching myself here, and my video looks okay so far. I'm looking, and it seems so far. So I'm just gonna leave it on like this, keep the sound off, and we'll just see how it goes, right? Sometimes when I have the phone on too, that it might interfere with what's going on, but yeah, I can see that there are times when I have a weak connection, because it has these little dots, and sometimes they go right down to zero, right? So I can see for myself just by looking at my screen, at my monitor here, that I don't have a great connection today, and I apologize for that. But oh, I'm glad to hear that. What have you been up to today, Owen? Yeah, I was looking online today for houses. Not like I can afford to buy one, right? But something popped into my head. I don't know what it was, but it said, "Okay, Cindy, go look in your area." There's a certain area of the province that I absolutely love, and I'm not going to mention it because the area is the pricing is very inexpensive, right? And it's not far from the city. Like if I were to get a job like in the city, I could be able to be into the city in a half an hour. So it's a good commuting area too, but the pricing for housing is so low, and it's almost wildernessy out there. Like I would be out in nature for sure. And yeah, like I said, I could probably get a house for $79,000. Now, if I could find somebody that would let me put work equity in, right? And do work equity, yeah, that would be absolutely just perfect for me, right? Yeah. Oh, it was nice there too. Yeah, it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. And when the weather's so warm, and I just found that, sometimes I do the same route sometimes, and it usually take me 2 hours, and tonight I did the whole thing in like an hour because it was just so comfortable, right? And you're not watching the sidewalks for the ice patches. Yeah, I was watching for mud puddles because I know I've got a hole in my snow boots, because I remember last spring I walked in a puddle and my boot filled up with water, right? But they seemed to be okay when I got home. Yeah, I feel bad that I had to restart my live tonight, but hopefully, that some of these people that were here earlier, in my last live, that they might pop back in after they fix themselves a cup of coffee like I did. Yeah. I'm thinking about maybe cutting the coffee out, right? I drink tea, but tea has caffeine in it too. Doesn't quench thirst, right? So I think what I'll do is maybe pick up a case of water, and I'll pick up those drops, those flavored drops that you can put in the water, right? Because I don't like water by itself. I don't mind bottled water, tap water. I don't drink tap water, but bottled water I don't mind, and I'll put some of those nice flavored drops in them, right? But yeah, it was absolutely just beautiful here too. So I am crossing my fingers that maybe in 2 weeks, maybe 3, the snow will be gone. It'll probably be cold right up until the beginning of May. It usually stays pretty cold here. We'll couple of days might warm up to maybe 10 or 15, but on the norm, it stays pretty chilly right to the beginning of May here in Manitoba. But at least the snow will be gone, right? Because if the snow is gone, then I can get on the bike, right? I need to exercise more. Like I really enjoy my walks. I really like to go into thought, and I really like to, just I quite often will watch a video too, right? I can see it's buffering again, and I apologize for that. But what was I going to say? I enjoy the walks, but I'm watching videos while I walk. I'm not watching videos. I'm listening to videos, right? The kind of videos that I watch, I can usually listen to, because I do a lot of thought leadership, right? And a lot of mindset videos. So those ones I don't need to stare at somebody to watch, right? I just need the information, right? But I really apologize. I can tell that this buffering is hurting my live tonight, and it's making me kind of not pay attention to what I'm doing also, right? And I'm
doing also, right?
Whoopsie. That's me. Yeah, just checking it on the phone. Yeah, but I had to get Skype today and everything to deal with my telephone people, and yeah, I'll have to talk to a manager, supervisor tomorrow and get that sorted out. I think some kind of credit would be called for, or yeah, definitely some kind of credit, right? Should be called for. Yeah, that was a lot of work and a lot of my time today to get that back up and running, right? Because I didn't have any money to give to them, right? So, all I had was the arrangements that we did and the payment I gave them, like they asked for, and I gave it to them. so yeah. Oh, mid-50s, that's nice. Mid-50s, that is really nice. Wow, you can go outside with a sweater in the mid-50s. Lots of people would even go even without the sweater in the mid-50s. I like the temperature to be around 55. 55 is quite comfortable for me, right? I don't like the warmth, and I don't mind the cold if I can bundle up, right? But in the house, you can't well, I throw on a sweater or a house coat or something, but yeah, looking forward to summer. I'm looking forward to getting back to work. I'm looking forward. And the thing is, I was working just as hard, if not harder, right? Not working than I was working, but I could have put that extra work that I put into what I was doing into finding a job. But I think this is going to work out for me really, really good. I'm going to get myself a job that's going to help support what I want to do, right? So that's what's most important for me, is to make sure that yeah, because I'm not doing truly what I want to do, right? I want to be back on the road, and I want to be doing my explore videos, and I want to be adding, my insights into those. I have these ideas, and I can't do it without my car and without the few extra dollars that it costs. I need to get that sorted, right? It's the most important thing to me, right? I know I'm on the right path. I know I am. And it is up to me to get that figured. It's up to me to get that figured out. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm just taking a look here, and I'm just going to turn this on just for a second, and then turn my volume off. Could it be my phone? Could it be my phone because I have my phone on that it's interfering? But it seems okay now. People, seriously, I don't know what it could possibly do. It could be, like I said, I move things around a little bit better just so that I could get the camera a little bit closer to me, not so far away, right? So I did drop the the webcam onto the floor, so it could have jiggled it a little bit. But at the same time, like I said, I've dropped that webcam on the floor a few times. And at the same time, yeah, it seems to be working okay. And look at that, Andrew's. It goes on the phone before it comes on my screen on my monitor. I know that. You only have to show me once, and I catch on, right? But I was on computers. Soon as computers came out, I was on computers. I wasn't doing much. I think I was using it for, making resumes, and I was doing it for, watching YouTube. But I was on the computers right away. But I also worked in restaurants, right? And when I worked in restaurants and bars, they use POS systems, and yeah, you have to be pretty good at finding things, right, from screen to screen. So yeah, that helped me out lots too, right? Anybody can learn the computer, right? In fact, I love using computer. I would much rather use my computer than I would my phone. That's for sure. This little phone to listen to comments or read comments or read articles or watch other people and it's little teeny weeny, right? But Oh, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I lost 6 subscribers on Instagram this week. Yeah. And and that happens because of the content that I'm moving into. And I have to go deeper. I have to go deeper into my Instagram content, right? It's my Instagram was always meant for what I'm doing now on Instagram. That's my Instagram. That is not going to change. That is all about my thought leadership, and that's all about my insight and my mindset, and just even interacting, with my personal stuff, with my followers over on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should follow. I post every day. Every day I post on Instagram. I'm usually will I get up in the morning and a word will come to me, and then I'll go, okay, that's my word for my content. And then I'll go and I'll pick a photo, and my photos are always nature. There'll be animals, or there'll be trees, or there'll be nature scenes, rivers, and then I'll give my insight on the word that had popped into my head, right? And what was the word that I have today? Oh, today's word was wondrous. Yeah, I was talking about my relationship with my dad when I was a kid, right? My dad was my best friend growing up. He was never supposed to live past maybe me turning 10 or 12 years old, right? They always expected him to pass, but I think it was the mindset that he was practicing. Like I said, my dad did law of attraction, right? So my dad meditated, a couple of times a day, and which is really, really good for your health. And I'm positive it's why he was able to live as long as he was, or as he did. I mean, it wasn't good towards the end. He had terrible angina. He was having, strokes and heart attacks on a daily basis for a couple of years. Like, yeah, it was sad losing. It was sad losing my dad, right? I went quite a while. By just by myself, right? Because my sisters were off work, and then I met my main group, as a young adult. And yeah, we stuck together. I think we all stuck together for a long time, probably 10 years, right? The same group. We didn't let a lot of people into it. Like, we didn't not welcome them in, but we just never, because we all stuck together. I think because we were all I would say at least half of us were empaths, for sure, half of us, but none of us knew it. Or if any of them did know it, they didn't share it. They didn't share it with us, right? They didn't share what they knew with us. But, knowing what I know now, and then I look back and I think, oof, yeah, that's why we clicked so well, right? That's why we connected, and that's why I loved some of them so much. Like, that's why, oh, it just, and the things I do now, and it just answers questions. And it's always in hindsight, right? It's always in hindsight that we make our realizations. And yeah, so just looking back at my past, and oh, okay, that's why I'm like that, right? Oh, that's why, like the Pippi Longstockings, I discovered that just a couple of weeks ago. Like, when I was a kid, I don't know how many of you out there loved Pippi Longstockings. Maybe I was the only one who loved Pippi Longstockings, but yeah, it was that the little girl with the freckles, and she had those braids that stuck out like wired, and they stuck out like this. And her parents were passed away, and she lived in a house, and she had treasure chests full of money and jewels and stuff. And just whoever popped into her life, whoever visited her and stuff, she would show them terrific life and terrific adventures, right? And a couple of weeks ago, I was doing a post and I mentioned it, right? And then I thought afterwards and I go, oh my gosh, a big part of my personality is based off Pippi Longstockings, off a TV character. If you knew anything about Pippi Longstockings, she was brave and courageous and adventurous and curious, like everything that I am, right? Like everything that I am, Pippi Longstockings was, minus the red hair, right? You know? And I think, because I was such a lonely child, or lonely, even a teenager, that I resonated with Pippi Longstockings, and now she's a part of my life. Believe it or not, Pippi Longstockings. It's crazy. Yeah. But it was interesting, because always wondered why I was so curious and why. So, I know the adventure part, it comes from my dad, but it doesn't all come from my dad, right? Because I have a need also to adventure by myself, right? Like to go off by myself, right? And my dad, when he went off, he always took me or the family with him, right? Yeah, I loved Pippi Longstockings. Now that you know Pippi Longstockings, Owen, do you not think that my personality is a perfect match to that girl? I based my personality. And that's what I do, right? Because that's empaths do that, right? Because they lose themselves, because they're always looking to please other people. They're always trying to read situations, they're always trying to, avoid anger or backlash. And so they always like to be on top of things, right? and yeah, and that's what I was like. I was very, very scared, and I think I resonated with Pippi Longstockings, and I chameleoned her personality. Yeah, and I think I picked up some of those traits. I mean, I think they're great traits, but Pippi Longstockings, as we all know, was very irresponsible. Like she was, right? All those jewels and crowns. I mean, she could have done more good with it than she did, right? But Andrew, now there's a point. Now there's a point. Oh, Andrew, what great insight is that? Now you're really going to have me thinking after this, right? Because I've been giving it thought off and on for the past couple of weeks since I did that post, right? Because it was no mistaking, like and I think of some of the episodes, and I didn't actually go into YouTube and see if I could find some of those old episodes and watch them, right? But I bet you if I did watch them, I would see myself, right? I would see myself and my fascination with horses. Oh my gosh, right? Right? Because I love horses. Like I don't like to ride them unless they have a saddle, but because they when they sweat, they go foamy, right? And then they stink, right? Because it looks like they foam when they get hot, right? When horses get hot. But I love horses, and Pippi Longstockings had a horse. I didn't even think of that. Yes. I think a lot of my personalities have been things that I picked up off of the other people, right? My dad, that spirituality part of me, I got that from my dad. I don't think I chameleoned that, right? Because I don't think I was aware or understood what it was at the time. But yeah, the Pippi Longstocking thing. And then now it makes me think of other television shows, right? My family values, right? Keeping the family together, right? Just helping my sisters be the best people that they can be. These are all Yeah, that's the Waltons. Little House on Prairie. Oh my gosh. Oh, darn Jeremiah Johnson. Oh boy. I based my whole life off of things that I've seen on TV. Isn't that something? Now it makes me wonder. Yeah, wow. Like I know I'm easily influenced, right? But because I know it, I put extra effort. I make extra effort that I resonate with things, right? Like I don't, it would be easy for me to get addictive to different, and I'm going to watch their content every day all day. Like I want to make sure that I'm doing that healthily, right? And I know they're going to influence me and I expect to be influenced, but at the same time I want to make sure that that's my choice, that I'm resonating that, and that however I turn out is however I am, right? Like I'm not taking on somebody else's persona, right? That would be, oh, that would just put all the work that I did behind. Yeah, Andrew, you just gave me some great insight there to put some thought into. I'm going to use that and I'm going to give it some thought because I actually think you're right. I think because I was such a lost child, such a lost teenager, that because I spent all my time with my dad. I didn't spend time with my sisters had their own things going on. I tried to stay out of the way of my mother, so I didn't spend a lot of time with my mother. I spent as much time as I could with my dad, but my dad took jobs. Like my dad was always pulled away from me. Like he was always off for long periods of time, weeks and months at a time. My dad would go away, right? With the works that he did. So it wasn't like I had a lot of people around me. I must have spent a ton of time in front of the TV. But it makes me think too. I didn't pick up any of those traits from the characters of Young and the Restless, and I watched a ton of Young and the Restless, like every day for decades and decades, Young and the Restless. But, none of those life traits I picked up for myself, right? That's my live tonight buffering away. Yeah, so don't worry about that. But I thank you for popping in. It was nice having that conversation with you this morning. How did it go this afternoon? Did it go over well? It was a lunch, right, that you were doing for people, helping with a church lunch? Yeah, very thoughtful. Yeah. William's helping tons at his church now, tons. But I think what I'll do is fiction of the British. Really? The blue collars, like the miners and stuff, Andrew? Do you think what you do is blue collar work? You're But yeah, that was some insight there. Good, Andrew. Good on you, right? I'm so glad you were there to throw that at me, right? But does the screen look better having the camera at the very least? Does it look better a little bit? I think it's a little bit better having the camera a little bit closer to the. It's not much closer, but it's a little bit closer, and I think it works a little bit better. But I'm gonna have to figure out my. I'm gonna have to figure out my. Maybe something interesting will happen this week, and I can go live for a few minutes. Maybe I'll go live at the work program I'm going. Because I know because they did a little kind of test. I could tell, right? Because soon as I walked in, they set me at a computer and they asked me to, watch some videos. And then she says, and then push here, and then do this, and then answer this. And I said, oh, don't worry, I'll figure it out, right? And surprised at how fast I had done it. So I'm assuming that I'm going to do, a little bit when I go to this I guess what it is what do you call those when you go in and they just want to check to see where you're at, right? But hopefully they'll see that their skills, because they say that they're the most demanding skills is the top 3%, right? Is the because most people are training for jobs that are in those four categories, which is manufacturing, production, customer service, hospital. Remember the other one? Oh. That is for sure, because the buses have their own lanes, right? I don't know in other cities if buses have their own lanes, but here in Manitoba, buses have their own bus lanes. So they can just just drive. They don't even have to worry about the traffic too much, right? Unless somebody decides to park in the bus lane, which does happen, right? But it's still office. You're still doing office, customer service, office. Yeah, office. Yeah, I'll check and I'll let you know next week what category that was under. But no, but I knew it wasn't a leadership or management position. I didn't know you had a call center in there, though. Bus services on Sunday suck, I guess. But that's pretty nice though, William, that you decided to pop in. We had a little bit of a conversation earlier today. William usually will text me in the morning and we'll have a short conversation before we start our days and kind of motivate each other, find out what each of us is doing and hold each other accountable, right? And yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty happy is there. And if it's not suited for them, if they're not resonating for it, it's better if they go their own way, right? Because if they unfollow me, then Instagram will suggest those posts to somebody else, right? So that makes me happy at the least, right? Because I'm pretty lucky. I have pretty high, my they call them impressions, right? How many impressions you get, but the amount of watches and the amount of impressions that I have are pretty close, I'm surprised that, and I'm very grateful that the people that follow me, they actually do, read my post and interact with my posts. Yeah, it touches me. It makes me feel like I am on the right track, right? And I know I should have more confidence in myself, right? But it makes me happy when somebody says that they like my video or they like my post or even better, when sometimes quite often I'll have more profile visits than I will likes, which I find really odd, right? When people kind of go to see what I'm all about. And then I lost another probably 3 or 4 during the course of the week, right? So but it doesn't matter. I do this for myself, even if I don't ever get to be, um really good at it, I feel good for myself, right? It keeps me company too, right? And I've made so many great friends. I was talking to Sherry, her son's got a full-time job close to home, and And yeah, they're looking for a new place. And yeah, it's really, there's some serious spring going on in their area, but buddy, we're going to call it a early night tonight. How's that? I'll figure out what the problem is. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to visit me tonight. I'm going to go over my video, and I'm going to go over my wires and everything again, because I want to make sure that it's all set up properly to hold anybody up if it's just going to mess with people's evenings, right? But anyway, everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you. We'll see you maybe in the middle of the week. Maybe I'll go live just to test to make sure that the camera is okay. How's that? Have a great night. Bye-bye. Oh, that's too bad.